I'm Mandy Vries, and I'm a sophomore here at UNI.
When did you find out you had dyslexia?
I found out I had dyslexia on the end of my 8th grade year. My mom read a book about dyslexia, and she realized I was a textbook dyslexic and took me down to the University of Iowa to get tested for dyslexia, and they found out I had severe dyslexia. I was reading at a 3rd grade level, and my comprehension was at a 4th grade level at that time.
What was elementary school like?
Elementary school was really tough for me. I went to a private school, and I was misdiagnosed. They never sent me to a doctor or anything like that, and they said I had speech impediment and ADHD. I was always constantly pulled out of class, and they had some people help me once in a while, but it was never really working.
How different was middle school, worse or better?
I'd have to say middle school was probably better for me, surprisingly, because dyslexics are lacking in one side of the brain, and since they're lacking on one part of the brain, they are actually more developed on the other side of the brain. So they usually have like certain talents and things that they're more improved than most people. And I found out after I got tested at the end of my 8th grade year that my talent was memory, but before I knew that, I just had to use my memory to overcome a lot of the things that I was doing, so it was just kind of like an aid for me, but it never really helped me. But it was easier in school that way.
How did you adapt to high school after you were diagnosed with dyslexia?
Um, I had to, the high school set me up with the AEA, and also I was in different programs. The AEA had a person come in for me basically almost every single day up until I graduated, reteaching me how to read and taught me the Orton-Gillingham method, and it just retaught my brain how to read and comprehend different things. I also was in a program called STAR, and it just was somewhere where I could go and sometimes like get help on different homework assignments that I had for comprehending different like math assignments, science, anywhere from there. My teachers were really accommodating, actually. I was really lucky. They understood and really sensitive about my dyslexia. I had different accommodations also. I had cover overlays over all my papers, and it separates the words for me. And sometimes they would print out papers in the color like gray or rose or my color, and also on my computer settings they were different colors. Also, I sometimes needed extra time on tests, or depending on the test, I'd have people come in and read the test for me. It's easier for me to comprehend sometimes that way. And I had different tools that I used at the beginning when I found out I had dyslexia, like dyslexics are actually really bad spellers, so I had to use a machine that would try to describe the different things that I was spelling.
How has life changed from high school to college?
High school to college was really nerve-wracking for me because I didn't know if I was even going to go to college if you would have asked me end of 8th grade year, beginning of high school. So I was really nervous that I wouldn't be up with the rest of my class, but in high school I worked really hard and I caught up with the rest of my class even though I still need accommodations. My accommodations actually changed also. I was able to do without some of the things that I needed before because I was on the same, I'm not always on the same level, but I was getting towards the same level as everyone else. Also in college, I had to take more responsibility and go to disability services and go to my teachers and talk to them about my accommodations.
What emotional hardships have you gone through with your dyslexia?
There's been a lot of emotional hardships. I was made fun of a lot in elementary and middle school, and that's part of the reason why I went to a public school was because there's more opportunities there for me, and also of just the harassment. I also had to work really hard and catch up with the rest of my class. Being at a 3rd grade comprehension or reading level and going into high school is kind of rare, so it made me the person I am today, and I'm a hard worker.
Do you have any advice for these future teachers to take with them in their classrooms?
If there's any advice I can give you guys, it would to realize that kids don't all learn the same, and not overlook if a kid does have a problem or a disability, because it's going to affect them emotionally and in rest of their school age years. So just make sure that if you see a kid with a problem, don't ignore it and go to a higher administration. The one thing that I really wish that my teachers would have done was take more of initiative of going and doing something about it. It would have saved me so much more of emotional problems by being harassed, and also I would have not had to struggle so much in school and got more out of school.